Hey everybody, how's it going? Here's another quick video here. We're going to talk about just a couple of quick things. I picked up 4 of these babies. Cost me $55 each. And the reason why I picked these up, and these are like not super perfect condition because they got a little bit of wear hair on them. They're all about the same. You know, they all have, a little cut here. I mean, keep in mind, these things are old. They're 2014. That's going to be 7 years pretty soon. So, obviously, they weren't, like, super well taken care of. But, these Ernie's tins are pretty special because for 55 bucks, here's what you get into them. Here's what you get in them. You get one of these. I think Electric Type 88 just did a video on how great Legendary Treasures booster packs are. So you get 2 XY base. Okay, those are like $500 a box and going up. Legendary Treasures over $1,000 a box, and that's supposed to be like, I agree with him, that's going to be one of those breakout things that it's undervalued right now. And then a Plasma Blast, which is like, Legendary Treasures is way better than Plasma Blast, but they're not too far apart in price. So basically, for the price of that pack there, you get this, and these 2 packs for free, plus the tin. So that's why I picked them up. I've owned, I have a bunch of those tins, but, it's always good to pick up more. And the reason why it is as a collector and a profiteer investor is if you have 4 items, you don't mind selling 1 or 2 off. But if you only have 1, you tend not to sell it and you tend to hold it. So in a little while, I could sell 1 of these off and pay for all 4 of them. Even in not perfect condition, because people like to save a little bit of money. So they're willing to, like, unless it's some picky collector, that's willing to pay a little bit more for something that's perfect condition. But sometimes that doesn't exist. Like, for instance, like these boxes up here on eBay that are empty, right? Like, how many Plasma Storms are on eBay? So if you find one that's not perfect condition, if you want it, you got to buy it before it goes up, or it's going to go up and up and up. And you might not find one for a long time that is in perfect condition. I think I bought an Unleashed box the other day that was sealed that had some wear on the plastic, but it was a pretty good price, and I don't own one, So you have to think of all those things when you're investing in Pokemon and other type of sealed products. You just gotta weigh everything. Obviously, you can't always get a perfect box. Remember I showed you this during that one video that came in all beat up? Like there's dents on it. This is still an awesome item, even in beat up. If you don't have one of these, and I'm willing to sell you this one here that is not perfect condition, you're going to be glad I sold to you 10 years from now. And I have a smoke and pet-free home. So you don't have to worry about any smoke. That's another thing that's very important when collecting. Well, you should store things in plastic containers if you have pets or if you smoke. And it's also another thing that is very important if you go to sell things and you are smoke and pet-free. Collectors love that. They love that fact. Anyway, so I was going to tell you about that. That's a good pickup. As far as the tin. Here's my list of tins. I'll show you these again. And I'll hold them there for a minute. For new subscribers, in case they want to look at some of the tins. You can pause it. My hand's shaking a little bit. And here's another page of some tins that I picked up. Not every tin is on this list. And then the last page. Now some tins are a little bit too pricey. Like for instance, if this tin was selling for basically the price of every pack that's in here, I wouldn't pick it up, unless I really wanted one for a collection. And still, if I picked it up, if all those packs were in there, and if all the packs in there were selling, let's see, where's the first page? If this was selling for, let's see, say those together are 1,000, 2,000, say 3,000. So say that tin was selling for $100 for the whole tin. That a whole box would be $3,600. Okay, so say it was selling for $100. Would I buy it? Probably not. But if I did, it's still going to go up, because once all the ones that are cheaper than it dry up, it's still going to rise in value. So eventually, it's going to be past $100 a tin. You can break this open right now and sell that Legendary Treasures or the other 4 packs off, and you're going to have leftovers that are pure profit. And you got the tin and the promo card. So that's called a good investment. So anyway, I was going to tell you about this too. I was going to ask you and talk about a few things. So sometimes I send things in to get graded. And there's 2 places to get graded. One place is PSA. Let me turn this light off. PSA. And the other is Beckett. And there's another couple companies to use, but these are the 2 main ones. So I've been thinking about this for a while. What would I rather have? Would I rather have an 8 from PSA or an 8.5 from Beckett? Now, if these were the same, if they were both 8s, I would choose the PSA, even though I hate sending things in, because they're just pain in the ass company. But their plastic cases tend to be clearer than the Beckett. The Becketts are sharper, you know. So I would tend to choose the PSA if they're the same. Now, if they are one up, like if this was an 8.5 and this was an 8, which they are, I would choose the 8 versus the 8.5 because it's a 0.5 higher. Okay. Like, let's see what else I got here. Now, obviously, a 10 is the best thing to get. And they're super hard and they're very expensive. And you have to pay a super premium to get these 10s. Because people who are selling them know what the population are and they just jack up the price. Let's see what I got here. I just grabbed some of my cards, you know, out of here. Like, for instance, what would you choose? Would you choose the 9.5 or the 9? I would choose the 9.5 over this. Because this is still higher. Because Beckett never gives out 10s. They're super stingy with 10s, you know. And the trouble is this is just the environment we live in. I think that the grading on some of these cards are way too nitpicky. Like I have a what I send in? I send in like a perfectly mint condition Rashidian port. I think that's how you say it. And it always comes back less than what I send in twice. So it always comes back less than, like this card here. This card was pulled out of the pack by me and put in a, you know, sleeve. And look what it come back as from PSA. Like, seriously, what did they complain about? Maybe the centering a hair, you know? This was pulled by me out of a pack, put right into a sleeve. And I got a freaking 8. And some of these errors, no symbols from Jungle. Like I had a couple that were pulled that were 8 right out of the pack, right? It's BS. This one here was pulled right out of the pack by me and my daughter a long time ago, and Becky gives it a 9. Like, seriously, it should be a 9.5. But I'm not going to waste my time sending it to get graded. But there's some things that annoy me that I will do that. I'll crack this open and resend it in. So anyway, I just wanted to talk to you about that type of stuff. And like and subscribe. Have a good one. Keep investing. Hey, how do you like my display mat?